Good evening, we're back in executive session. Thank you for coming to the March 3rd, 2026 board meeting. We all stand for the pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. On the agenda, Dr. Murphy, the one superintendent update, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Cerrito. Good evening, everybody. Just a few updates. First off, since our last meeting, the district, the community, all of the island endured the snowstorm, which was crazy, dealing with that over those 3 days. I say 3 days because even the third day, we had a weather report that did not match the reality that morning, and I sent a message to staff thanking everybody for their understanding with that craziness in the morning. Most of all, and I've been thanking these guys every time I see them, I just want to recognize our buildings and grounds team who, I always say we don't have the equipment of an airport to deal with these snowstorms, and when it's 20 plus inches, it's just non-stop that these guys are here. They're basically sleeping here. So just working tirelessly to ensure our lots are clear, our walkways are safe, salting, all these tricks that Mr. Affini tells me about to manage what is just a tremendous challenge. So just truly grateful for that team. So thank you so much to those guys. Next, I want to commend the fire department here is near and dear to us. They're such great partners in so many different ways. They had this great idea with this Hydrant Heroes Challenge. I don't know if everyone saw some of the photos submitted by our students. There was one student, who was the winner, Grant Carruthers, who laid down in front of the hydrant, in his bathing suit, at least for a minute, for the photo to be taken. Unbelievable, and let me read off the rest of the winners here. So there was Grant, and then runners-up, Joseph Dramati, apologize if I'm saying that wrong, Gabriella Fontana, Haley Bathke, and Savannah Bathke. We're going to have lunch with all of the participants. Again, the fire department has generously, they kind of decided after all the entries were in to say it's really tough to pick winners. So they invited all the students who submitted photos to a special lunch at the fire department this weekend to personally thank them for stepping up to help out. It was a great contest, but there was a real value there because they cleared the hydrants. God forbid if the fire department needed to get access to them. So just a great job all around. Just another example of Hauppauge coming together, dealing with something and making it fun for kids. And again, thanks to the fire department. This upcoming weekend, this Friday, our high school students will raise the curtain on the production of Something Rotten. Actually plan on going there with my wife on Friday evening. Mr. Squito apparently has his tickets as well. There's an additional performance on Saturday. So as always, please come out and support our fine and performing arts program, our talented students and staff. I'm sure it's going to be another great show with energy and humor and outstanding performances. Also have a number of student athletes heading to states this Friday. Congratulations and best of luck to our cheerleading team, fresh off their county championship victory. Unbelievable, that team. Noah Hutzler and Luke Oriolis from boys swimming and diving. Rachel Butke and Catherine DeTuro from our girls winter track team. Also, congratulations for Rachel, Catherine, along with Ava Lingen, who they all made the podium at the Long Island Elite Track Meet this past weekend. Rachel was second place in the long jump, Catherine third place the 1,500 meter race walk, and Ava second place in the freshman sophomore 1,500 meter race. Obviously, just incredibly proud of all of our students. And lastly, as we all know, Thursday evening, Battle of the Buildings. I'm grateful that we have some fire department judges because we're going to be filled to capacity. So if we're you know, if we're at capacity, I'm counting on those guys to let me know if we're one person too many. It's been unbelievable, and I just got to thank the PTA, Miss Zamek, who happens to be here in the audience, and Miss O'Shaughnessy. It's been an incredible amount of time and effort, and this has exceeded our expectations by a million miles. Like, first of all, we have, I think, over 200 participants, including many of the people that you see up here tonight, who are going to represent district office. And even though we haven't practiced, Mr. Tasman, we're going to be ready to roll. I don't think anyone's beaten us at Hungry Hippos. We have.
I have to agree, Dr. The only concern about it, they have all the videos though.
Yeah.
The board doesn't have it.
Well, I think our video will go out when we win.
The rumor.
Send out the winning video.
We need to investigate, Mr. Scarito, when the teams were practicing. I mean, we're trying to investigate how many hours they've been practicing for this event.
Yeah, it's all right. We come in with raw energy, and we're gonna. Yeah, she's scouting tonight. She's scouting. So I think we're looking at something like 1,500 to 1,600 people coming that night. Most of them kids. So it's going to be awesome. And I ask for everyone's patience. It's our first time with this event since at least 15 years ago. So if there are some pain points, we'll get through them and we'll learn and adjust for next year. So again, thanks to everybody who's helped make that happen. I will say, last thing on this, if you are planning on attending or if you got your ticket, we're encouraging carpooling because it's just going to be crowded in all the lots on Thursday evening. So yeah, all good. Can't wait. Thursday night, Battle of the Buildings. Thank you. With that, yes. Well, I'm turning it over to Hannah and Alalik, and before Hannah speaks, I want to recognize her. I actually posted about this on my own Facebook page, but Hannah was surprised. I don't know how this happened, that surprise was kept at PS I Love You Day assembly at the high school with a scholarship from one of the owners, what's her name? Founders, that's the word I was, founders. Such a special moment. You were blushing that night, you're blushing now a little bit, well deserved. The whole audience was applauding her. And with that, I will turn it over to you. Yes.
Thank you. School sports will start Monday, March 9th. All students looking to play this season should be sure that they have a current physical as well as proper information done on final forms.
Yesterday's SAT and today's pre-ACT went over smoothly. Students should expect to see their results within the next month. Juniors should be studying ahead of March 10th, next Tuesday, for the ACT.
This past Friday, IB diploma candidate Abia Sadiq's CAS project went over well with over 70 people in attendance and NHS facilitating the event. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you both.
We'll see you Thursday.
Absolutely. I don't hear any other recognitions or awards, Dr. Murphy, if I can. Nope. 5B, we're going Dr. Murphy for 2026-2027 school budget, please, sir.
Yeah, it's a very brief presentation, but I'm just going to go over to the podium. I think there's a clicker there for me.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so, can you hear me okay? Yes. March is a busy month for our board. We have 3 board meetings this month. This is always the first. Big picture, 10,000-foot view of our budget season. I always like to start our presentations with our adopted mission and vision statements, along with our Eagles core values. I think it's probably most aligned at this point with the word accountability when it comes to budget, just making sure that everything we do is in service of our kids, and that we take accountability when building a budget, so we are matching our mission and our vision statements. Our mission being delivering high quality instruction fostering deep learning and building respectful collaborative relationships. Right? And our vision, providing a safe and challenging and supportive environment where all students are empowered to reach their full potential. That's really the goal of every budget, is to make sure that we keep those big picture themes in mind. When it comes to our development, again, big picture I just alluded to, part of the budget, this is, a theme that is true for all school districts. Our staffing and our benefits constitute north of 70% of the budget. So when you are building a budget, there are, very few pie pieces that you have control over in terms of making those decisions, but we go through those conversations incessantly leading up to today, and then throughout budget season, we're still making decisions. Of course, enrollment and staffing, those two are closely related, but there's not the exact direct correlation that there always was, because even with declining enrollment, sometimes you have needs in certain areas that necessitate staffing additions. And then, of course, everything we do is about offering the most robust and diverse course catalog for our students K-12, and we're constantly looking at what are new opportunities we can bring to our kids. Here's our enrollment. It's leveling off a little bit, but it's still, as you can see, declining. We've been hovering in like the 3,200, 3,100, now just shy of 3,000 projected for next year over the last 4 or 5 years. So that's a trend. That was, I would say, the slope was a little steeper years past, but it's still declining overall. In terms of staffing, and again, this presentation is meant to be just big picture. We'll be getting into a deeper dive next board meeting into all of this. But our teachers union has actually 14 retirements. It's kind of crazy for me because a lot of these names are, individuals I've worked with for a long time. So it's hard at the end of the year at that meeting when we're shaking hands and recognizing those retirees. But so we have a healthy number this year. I will say it's unlikely that we're going to replace all of them, but we're still working that out with Mr. Tasman's oversight there. These decisions are all connected to programs and decisions we're making K-12. In terms of other units, that's always kind of a more fluid conversation. Other unions in the district. Again, we have a whole presentation for curriculum instruction that's coming, but we have like 4 pillars that we always like to highlight when we go into budget season. How do we maintain just our core instructional programs, K-12, from year to year? We make tweaks, we add courses, sometimes we prune courses, but ultimately, again, it's back to that theme in the previous slide, the most robust experience possible. We continually, again, thanks to the board, there's really 2 items here, actually the final 3 of align with the board's decision-making in the past. The college trips, the summer college workshops where we're doing college application help, all of these things that are supported by the board continue into next year. Of course, classroom technology, we're now at the point where we have, refresh cycles. This is all under Dr. McCarthy's domain. That's Chromebooks, that's iPads, that's smart IFPs, that's audio enhancement. Again, we'll get into the weeds on that in a future presentation. And then, just listening to our student board members talk about the upcoming SAT. Again, no Hauppauge student pays for those exams. Just a tremendous feather in the cap. It doesn't happen elsewhere. I mean, there's maybe 1 or 2 districts that does some version of this, but nobody's doing it, right? And the why behind that I always like to just, highlight is that the board, when they made this decision, wanted to remove any and all barriers to a student having an opportunity to achieve something. So our students have been taking advantage of this in a good way, right? And we're just so proud to be able to offer that again next year. big picture, and then I'll unpack this more in future presentations. This is a snapshot of last year, the year we're in, I should say, and then next year with the percent changes. Our budget to budget is 2.87%. Our fund balance and reserves don't change. Those are revenues. We do have an increase in the other, I'm working my way up here. That includes everything from rental fees for our preschools to interest that we've earned in our different accounts to interfund transfers from debt service, pilots, payment in lieu of taxes. This line item is pretty unique to Hauppauge. When you see other districts, they don't necessarily have a number that high. That's because of our industrial complex, and that number is due to the projections. You know, we always play it safe, but it's due to rise just a bit. Not thrilled about the initial state aid projections. As you can see, that number is going down a little bit. There is buzz that that number is gonna, you know, by the time we have our final number, it will be up. But as of today, that's the number we have to go with. I will say we got a 1% foundation aid increase. So some of this is tied to aid that's attached to our services. So it's not exactly the bad story that it appears, but we're hoping that by the time they finalize the budget up in Albany, that our foundation aid will increase. And then our tax levy from year to year is 3.72. Some of that is connected to our debt service. Crazy 2023 bonds, so it's 3 years ago now at this point. When you're borrowing, you don't get the aid back on those projects until the next year. So you have that 1 year where the debt service is increasing without the building aid kind of taking a chunk of that, mitigating that impact. So that's a big part of it. In terms of what I referenced at the beginning, which is our 3 presentations here in March, and then what's to come. And by the way, not on this slide is, you know, our roadshow with the PTAs. We're working to see if some of that can either be streamed for them this year. So just an acknowledgement of Jody Rocco, who's the PTA council president, who's helping me with that. But in terms of what's upcoming in this room, March 17th, yes, it's St. Patrick's Day, and we're going to be having a budget meeting. I will be dressed accordingly, just putting it out there now, not changing from board meeting. So we'll see what kind of press that gets. I'll get into the revenues and the tax cap, you know, much deeper dive. March 31st, last day of the month, that's the curriculum instruction technology, also discussion on health and safety. Budget adoption, this will be here before we know it, it's in April, and then finally, you know, in May, we have our hearing and the annual budget vote. So it's, you know, there's a lot going on here in the next 3 months, but these dates seem to come quickly and fly by. Always thankful for the community that comes out to vote, and I do encourage anyone who may be listening to come to one of our meetings and ask whatever questions they have. So again, next meeting is when we'll get into a deeper dive on revenue and tax cap, and then after that, curriculum instruction.
Any board members have any questions for Dr. Murphy on the summary of this? Does anybody in the community have any questions for Dr. Murphy? Dr. Murphy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Moving on, guys, to 5C, adoption of minutes. I'll make a motion, Collins with the second. Discussion, all those in favor? Oh, and moving on to number 6, guys, any questions and comments from tonight's agenda only? Any community members have any questions on tonight's agenda? Consent agenda is on page 71 to 74 today. Is anything need to be separated, board members, anything separate on consent agenda? Okay. I'll make a motion. Michael's on the second. Any discussion? Any policies, gentlemen, please?
Not tonight.
9, the committee reports, we're gonna punt since we have, sessions out. I did want to touch though, if I can, Dr. Murphy, on letter J.
Yes.
Ad hoc,
Yep.
best impact committee. It was a very good meeting. That's what, that we're gonna start informing the public more that a lithium battery storage facility may be coming to our neighborhood sometime soon. And we should, let our people know that, what's involved.
Yeah, if I can add to that. So, it's great to see a couple of our community members here, Tara, who leads the public best committee, the board. I guess it was 2 meetings ago, organized and blessed this ad hoc best impact committee. Mr. Scrito, Mr. Michaels has joined me at the firehouse, so there's some really great partnership here. I think, to your point, that what the community can expect is just more information from the district on how to get involved. I thought that last meeting at the firehouse was very helpful, and we had some local legislators in attendance as well, and one who encouraged us to shower her with correspondence and emails and so forth, and that she would be the one to take all of our messages. So I think we're going to figure out with our attorney's guidance the best way to manage our communication. But there's some really great partnership here going on in our community. So. What's that?
It's on Super Bowl Sunday.
That was yes, on Super Bowl Sunday, I was at a different meeting that Commissioner Monroe organized where I was in attendance for a presentation. So I'm learning a lot about this as you are.
You're all learning a lot.
Brian.
If I can ask our attorney, is this something, sir, when the public has a meeting at the firehouse, is that something, sir, that we can put on our website?
Yes.
So I suggest we get the next meeting date, it should be posted on our website, if we are in the community to get information.
Great.
I don't mean to hijack, but that's kind of why I came.
Oh, you have a meeting date?
Well, we finished the community letter,
Okay.
which is posted on the website, so I did bring copies to all you guys. Well, I only brought 10 copies, so.
Let's just make sure the board gets them and then the rest.
And the email out, yep. So we also made this flyer. I know it's last minute, but we had an idea after the last meeting, the letter came together, and we really want to try to get the word out to the community. So being that it's going to be such a heavily attended event, we were hoping if we could, we were thinking originally maybe if we could put these on cards, but it's supposed to rain. So we wanted to know, I don't know.
About Thursday, Karen?
Huh?
You're asking about the Thursday?
For Thursday, yes. Like,
Yes.
she has tickets to the
I already
event.
asked. Yes.
I don't have tickets to the event, she does, but we had some volunteers from our committee that were willing to stand at the doors, to hand this out at the end. This is very simple, when you scan that, it brings you to the community letter for people to sign on.
Tara, you know what we'll do? If you can provide, email me copies, we'll put those up.
Oh,
Where
perfect.
people are
You don't get
getting
anything, you
tickets.
just scan.
I have yellow
Right,
paper,
'cause
so
you have-
if you need,
You have QR on there? Is that what I see?
yes, it's a
Great.
QR, yeah, I have like the plain copy and then.
Yeah, just email me and we'll put them up as well.
Okay,
This way,
great.
people can walk with their phones.
Because we have an option on the website where everybody can put their information, and then we will be able to track signatures. And we're also, there's an option on there now to automatically send an email out to some of the town of Islip representative that was at the meeting.
Dawn Marie was her
Dawn Marie,
first name.
I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name, if it's Kuhn, and then legislator Bergen. But also, we have an email that automatically goes out to pretty much everybody, so everybody in the town of Islip, the planning board, even the utilities like LIPA, Suffolk County Water, our Suffolk County legislator, instead of just Hirschberg and some of the other people, the senators. So on the website, when you go to the homepage, you can click to sign the letter, and then there's another button that says take action. That button is where it brings you to the email. So the email will go out, basically, it's endorsing the community letter.
I also saw you have a Facebook group.
Yes, we
Yes.
also have a Facebook.
So I don't know if you have that on the website, but maybe you want to.
Yes, it should be somewhere on
Okay.
there. And then on the homepage too, we have the watch video, which is a long video that the fire department put out.
Yes.
It's about like 4 minutes long, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
very
powerful.
informative.
Yep.
So everything is on there for the community, for educational purposes. I worked with the developers that created the school board coalition website, and they were able to get everything up very quickly, which I think is super helpful for our community. So yeah, we could do that Thursday, even at Parent Square or something, I don't know, because.
Send it to me and.
Yeah, you can send it to the
I'm gonna
committee,
check
you
with,
guys,
whatever we could do, we're gonna do.
okay,
Um,
thank you.
And I just want to thank you, because
Oh,
I know
thank
it's a
you.
lot of time you're putting in here, and we're appreciative on this side of the
Thank you.
dais. All right, so thank you.
Okay, guys, gonna move on to number 10, discussion matters. Discussion matters.
Nothing for us.
Okay, any new business? Any other board members have new business to talk about? I just had a couple things. I had a couple phone calls in my office about this water thing that came up in Newsday. I guess I have a question, and I don't know the cost. My understanding is this was a study done a while ago, and it's just coming out now, or what's the clarification on this?
Yeah, so this conversation is confusing, because when a news source runs a story, it seems like it's breaking news, right? And that's not the case here. In fact, I mean, I don't know if we were lucky or unlucky, but News 12 had a story 3 months ago, and at that time, we took that story and responded to it. Hauppauge did. There may have been other districts who did the same. We had already established part of a section of our website about water quality in Hauppauge schools that dates back years. That section, we added my letter to the community back in December to that section of the website. To oversimplify this, there was a standard that they lowered, I think in 2022, 15 parts per, what's PPB?
Parts per billion.
Yeah, Taz is becoming an expert on this as well. And they lowered it to 5 for schools. It's schools and like Poland Spring, but like the water in your home, federal standards. So basically when they lowered that, it meant like everything that was existing that was now above the 5 was captured. Immediately when that happened for Hauppauge, we took those, all of those water fountains out of production. They were either remediated or they remained down. The truth is the future of water fountains likely in schools, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong here. Well, no, like the ones in the classrooms are shut down, but the ones in the hallway, when you can go up and put your water bottle, they're filtered. That's where kids are, they're going with their classmates, they're going to fill up their water bottles that way. So we do not, there's nothing that anyone's exposed to in Hauppauge. Newsday likes to sell papers,
So we don't have to test for it. I didn't know if this came out.
We always test, but here's
Monday.
the thing, like, the message is that the testing happens, every 3 years or something?
And whenever we put a new spigot in and we change it, we
And-
test it.
And if,
Test all of them?
and if, depending on when they test, if they test it, in the beginning of the day, or if they the test results could be different, but they also aren't rushing to test, which sends the message that, it's not an emergency, otherwise they would be testing weekly, right? So, bottom line is for us, we don't have any,
So we can let the community know that
I already did that 3 months ago,
this is just Monday.
Yep, I haven't fielded any phone calls or emails if I, thank you. That's why you're on the payroll. Not with a great time. Yes. But yes, if I need to resend my letter, we will
I
do
just
so.
think we should just go out there because I don't think Newsday should be our voice.
I 100% agree with you there.
It's not the voice. I appreciate it.
Yep,
The other thing I'm going to remind you, Dr. Murphy, once again, there was a braggart about Smithtown, pushing back, pushing the science programs, pushing science contests. So once again, as a board member and a community member, I want to push our students, push our teachers, as many things we can sign up for, I'm sure we can get things taken care of, with fees involved,
Okay.
as well as.
We know you always
I
support,
do, and I
yeah.
like the America 250 coming up, there's poems, there's things that.
Yeah, we've announced to our whole student body about opportunities. Suffolk County has a great dedicated website to that where students can visit different locations and get stamps. And then Miss Barry actually oversaw this. And sometime next year, we may ask the board to honor the students who get all the stamps for America 250.
I think that's fantastic. And then the last thing is the snow days. Are we
Yes.
done?
Oh,
As far
I
as-
hope we're done.
What I'm saying is, so we don't have any left, so I know.
We actually, we have one left.
Oh, technically, we used our, yeah.
We used our 3, but they granted this was so rare.
Yeah, I know.
They granted an exemption to the 180-day rule. I'm just hoping, I don't even have to make it this, yeah.
The snow is
I don't even want to put that out in the universe.
No more snow, Mr. Carino.
What is it?
5 degrees next.
Nice.
Thank you.
I think it snowed on St. Patrick's Day last year. I'm knocking on wood. Or maybe it's 2
That's
years.
the third time you've mentioned St. Patrick.
Is there a theme?
Neutralization, sir. That's a journey. All right. Any questions and comments from the community? Board members, anything good? Going to move on to an adjournment. Can I get a motion? Mr. Kyler? Mrs. Collins with a second. Discussion, all those in favor? Our next business meeting will be Tuesday, March 17th, which I believe is St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Thanks.